Hi, my name is Dr. James Starks. I'm an organizational development advisor and consultant. I'm also a retired Master Gunnery Sergeant, U.S. Marine Corps, Simplify. I'm in my 5th year serving as a mentor, and I will say that the experience has been both enlightening and life-altering. I say life-altering because most people look at the veteran mentor role as service-oriented, but I can guarantee you that you, as a mentor, get just as much out of it in serving that veteran. Serving as that advocate and that mentor gives you a little bit of more enlightening within yourself. When I first started out, one of the main challenges was understanding the process, which is one of the things that veterans who serve as mentors do. They help the participant understand the process. So one of the challenges for me was to understand the process as it was with that particular Veterans Treatment Court. And then the next thing was to recognize that not all Veterans Treatment Courts are the same. So that particular dynamic is something that continues to ebb and flow depending on where you're at in the country. And I travel the country working with various courts. Absolutely. When they come to this program, most veterans are in a very challenging and perplexed situation, depending on their particular situation. So a lot of their confidence within the judicial system in itself has really, to say it in the least, they don't have very much confidence in the judicial system. And so one of my responsibilities, as I take it as an advocate, both for the veteran but in support of the program indirectly, is to kind of help nurture that process and recognizing that there are some great things that are happening within the judicial system if you just allow yourself to recognize those key indicators. So the benefit of the program, the Veterans Treatment Court program, is that it allows veterans to be able to have a second chance. They make mistakes and they need treatment. That treatment process allows them to create a better version of themselves. And one of the mantras of serving in the military, I served 28 years on active duty. One of the mantras that we have in the military is that when an individual comes into the military, they leave a better version of themselves. So it really kind of there is a meeting of the mind, so to speak, in reference to what Veterans Treatment Courts provide. We're both invested, along with the military, in making individuals better. And our veterans deserve nothing less. So I think treatment courts are important for the treatment, Veterans Treatment Court. I think is really important because that's the nexus of how the veteran is going to make that transformation. And be exposed to those professionals that can help nurture them through that process. I'm not a clinician either, but at the same token, coming into this particular situation and serving in this role, I recognize that they are going through treatment. And part of my role in doing that is to support them while they go through that treatment, being that battle buddy, being an individual that they can come talk to. If they're frustrated, they know that they can come to me or someone who's serving in my role and can really be open and transparent without judgment. Well, I think any Veterans Treatment Court team that doesn't have a mentoring program is really losing out on vital information and also a vital service that the mentor actually provides to the participant. In one regard, the information that can be gleaned from that relationship can give tidbits of information. Obviously, you're conscious of confidentiality, but tidbits of information to these highly trained professionals that then could indicate certain things that the veteran may be needing. So I can't share a lot of things that go on between me and my participant, but I can share certain things that would help the team recognize a possibility of something that they may want to explore or not. The mentor, him or herself, I think is important because when that veteran comes into that program, most of them are scared out of their mind. They're in a very, very vulnerable position. They don't really know what to expect. No discredit to the defense attorneys because I think they do a great job of immersing them into what's ahead. But when they're on their own and they don't have access to their lawyers, they really are in an isolated situation. And having a mentor there that has some familiarity with the process, that you can pick up the phone or they can email or whichever way that they want to communicate, I think is crucial, not only for the team itself, but for that individual. And that support that the Veterans Treatment Corps team is actually providing, that mentor helps that individual recognize or answer questions or get their concerns relayed to the appropriate people so they can then become successful. Well, I think the treatment courts could take full advantage of their mentors in recognizing that, one, they are individuals. Individuals come with varying experiences. Varying experiences are crucial data points that could inform a team of perceptions. And we know that a lot of perceptions drive reality for people when not necessarily rooted in fact. So therefore, having access to the mentors and being able to nurture that relationship without breaking confidentiality, I think is very crucial if veteran treatment courts would invest that time. As I understand, some courts do exit interviews for participants, whether they actually graduate or not. I think that veteran mentors come and go as well, so that process could be replicated in order to gain some very, very insightful information. To include those who are enduring mentors, I mean, there's a lot of information that can be shared in reference to, but without breaking confidentiality, that I think the team would really benefit from. Well, I'd say to my colleagues, my fellow veterans, that we've always been taught, never judge a book by its cover, and never make an assumption that you can't back up. So, one, veteran treatment court is a good thing. And if you don't think it's a good thing, you need to verify that assumption. And once you try to verify that assumption, you'll recognize that it's a great program. Because the evidence and the people that are part of it are clear. They are committed to what they do. And I would encourage veterans to take that opportunity to continue their service. Because when you leave the service, your service doesn't end. You have a community that you need to rally around and assist. So part of our responsibility is to continue to be community servants. And I know that our veterans know that that's important. I hesitate to talk about individuals, but I will share one particular individual. He was a Army Staff Sergeant. He had multiple issues in reference to mental health as it relates to the combat experience. He suffered severe PTSD, had lost touch with his family. He was living out of his car. He almost committed suicide a couple of times by his own admission to me. He also had no faith in himself. And being a homeless veteran is something that I've noticed throughout my experience with this program. The Veteran Treatment Court team, they really rallied around this young staff sergeant. And he himself, he would come to court and just break down. He had nothing to share. He really was reserved. And my working with him, along with the treatment court team, showing that support from an existential perspective, the therapist that he was working with, before he was about to drop out of the program because he'd been so reserved that nobody could kind of break through with him. But there became one particular day, and this is through his own admission at his graduation. He was going to be admitted to a program, it's called the Aspire program in San Diego. Very, very great program, in a residential program. And he didn't have enough gas to get from where he was to where he would have to be admitted. So again, the miracles that the treatment team come up with, they got him the money somehow. He parked outside of the Aspire program. And he literally said to himself, I didn't think I was going to make it, and I stood outside the doors. And when he walked through, he felt a sense of love and collaborativeness, something he had never felt the past 2 years prior to that. And from that day until the time that he graduated, he made immense progress. He immediately got involved in the various programs. He began to learn how to make wooden pencils and I mean, just use his hands. Very, 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 very astute and very, very skilled individual. He brought pens for everybody in the court when he graduated. And he shared his experience that he was on the brink of death. And yet, because of what the Treat Me team and we were able to work as mentee team, gave him his life back.